Mike, thank you so much. You know, most brides would do just about anything to make sure their wedding day is absolutely perfect, but Callie Richardson took that to a whole nother level. This is the story of the White Magnolia in Kentwood, Louisiana.
Charlie and Callie met when a horse Callie's family owned was ill. When Charlie showed up to help with the horse, he recommended Callie meet him every day for 2 weeks to soak the horse's feet as treatment.
And then after a week, he told me it was just arthritis, so.
The ruse worked. About a year later, they were engaged. But when Callie started looking at wedding venues, she couldn't find what she had always pictured.
I kind of knew what I wanted, but I couldn't find anywhere in Louisiana. Saw some other venues like in Texas and in Virginia, and I kind of had this design in my head of what I wanted it to look like, so I pitched the idea to my mom.
Her mom is a businesswoman who already ran a 110-acre quarter horse and commercial cattle farm in Kentwood. She bought into the idea, and the two became business partners.
We were just going to build like a pavilion here, but then if we were going to spend all that money to build the pavilion, like we would need to rent it out. Well, if we needed to rent it out, we'd had to have bathrooms, so it kind of just like exploded from what was going to be a pavilion to what it is now.
What it is an elegant country venue called the White Magnolia. It was a race to finish in time for Charlie and Callie's wedding. They built it in about 6.5 months, working 12 to 14-hour days nonstop.
The week before my wedding, we were like staying up all night painting and trying to get it finished. We laid sod 2 days before my wedding.
Charlie and Callie did the majority of the work themselves. Charlie had always been handy, and the two just figured things out as they went along. Callie's grandfather actually cut all the beams holding the barn up on his sawmill, and he did the flooring. And Callie always had a love for design and architecture. She actually worked in an antique store in college redoing furniture.
I asked for power tools for Christmas one year, and then I started just building small things and then redoing furniture.
As for the details most brides care about, flower arrangements, cake testing, photographers, Callie left all of that up to her wedding planner.
She did all of that while I was picking out like light fixtures, doors, toilets, sinks, that kind of thing. I really wanted some hands-on balusters, but there's not very many craftsmen around that do stuff like that anymore. So I found a man in Washington just by Googling him, and I told him what I wanted, so he handmade all of these. So those lanterns on each side, when I bought them, they were like solid rust, and my mom was like, what in the world are you thinking? But I whitewashed them with just like paint. And then they're from Egypt. So I got them from an antique store in Texas, but they got them from Egypt.
Callie's wedding day was perfect. And now her job is to make sure other couples have the same experience.
Allow brides to do like the whole weekend, so they can come in on Friday night, do a rehearsal dinner at the manor, stay the night, and then they get the venue the whole day. So they can go, the groomsmen can go fishing in the pond, the bridesmaids get ready in the bride suite, we provide lunch from our catering, and then they can stay the night. We have a fire pit, so they can hang out by the fire pit until everybody goes to sleep in the cottages. So it kind of makes it like a whole weekend family affair.
It's so peaceful.
It is peaceful, until you work here and then you kind of get the stress of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
The couple's love story is still going strong. You probably noticed one of their 2 daughters, sweet Charlie Ray, hanging out with Mama during our interview.
My phone will ring with brides and they just understand that I have kids. Like yesterday I had to call Mom back because the toddler was throwing a tantrum and I was trying to talk business on the phone and she doesn't understand. So it definitely is a challenge, but we make it work. We tag team.
And they make quite the team, literally building their life together.
And guys, I wanted to tell you more about those huge beams inside that are gorgeous. They wanted them to look old and reclaimed, but it was just so expensive. So they cut down the trees on their own property. You saw her grandfather cut them on the sawmill.
Yeah.
And then this is what they did. Her husband took a chainsaw and distressed the sides. She sanded them, bleached them with Clorox, burnt some with a torch to try to make them look old. They look amazing. It is a labor of love. But just that they just figured out how to do it.
I know, and
It's just so
together.
amazing.
Like, what a beautiful love story. And their baby's named Charlie, just like yours.
Yes.
So
the dad's
sweet.
name's Charlie, too, yeah.
Oh, that's a cute story. We needed some love. It's about to be Valentine's Day, guys.
There you go.
You know, we also love catfish, and we'll have more of that coming up because we're at Middoors this morning. We'll be back in just a bit.